Hey guys, so I'm back with another one of my classic gear videos. I am getting ready to go to Ouray to do some ice climbing for the next 2 to 4 weeks. I know that's a big time frame, but it all sort of depends on a number of factors, how long I end up staying. And so I'm going to be living in my car for those 2 to 4 weeks, just trying to get as much ice climbing done, and then maybe some mixed and some just Ouray routes. And so I'm getting all my gear together, just sort of piling it up, and I figured I'd shoot a video to say what I'd bring to Ouray for a month of ice climbing. So I'll start over here with my backpacks. I'm gonna bring 3 backpacks with me. This is the one that I'm planning to use pretty much every day. That's a 30 liter. I'm also going to have a 24 liter if I have a bit of a lighter day on gear, or if I'm going to carry my backpack with me up the entire climb, that could come in handy. And then this is just if I get sucked into something else. This is my 45 liter pack, so I could bring this out on an overnight climb or trip or whatever. Don't think that'll happen, but I'd rather have it and not need it. And then on the inside here, I also have a sleeping pad and a tent. Again, with that overnight stuff. Don't know, I probably won't use it, but I'll just have it with me. It won't take up any room in the car. And then all my other stuff I'll have for sleeping for an overnight if I need. In the car itself, my sleeping setup in the car is going to be kind of what I always do. I have a 3/4 size blow-up pad. And then I usually put a foam pad. I've been using the Z Light or the Z Fold pad, but I found this in like the basement or whatever, and so I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna see if that actually works. It may be worth testing out instead of the Z Fold. But I usually have a full length foam pad, and then I put this Sea to Summit Comfort Plus on top of it. And I'll have a different video to show you how I set up my car, but that's kind of the basic setup. In addition, I will also have this sleeping bag. This is the warmest sleeping bag that I own. It's a negative 15 degree bag, Mountain Hardwear Lamina, and or Lamina. I don't know how it technically is pronounced. And then in case I want a little bit more warmth, you know, just because I don't like being cold, this is a 25 degree sleeping bag liner that I can pair up with this to hopefully bring it down a few more degrees. But I don't think there'll be, hopefully it won't be a need for that. But that's my sleeping setup I'm going with. Climbing gear. I'm going to bring 2 pairs of crampons with me. These are the crampons I'm planning to use for most of the days. The BD Stinger. It's a monopoint crampon. And then I'll also have these guys for maybe a lesser climbing day or who knows what else. This is these are dual point. I think these are called the Sabertooths. Also good for more alpine-esque style climbs. Ice screws. I got a lot here, and funny enough, I actually just ordered. I only have one 22 centimeter in my personal setup, so I just ordered another one. It's in the mail. And then I have 2 19s, 4 16s, 6 13s, and then 4 10s. And so I just can mix and match what I want for the day. I'll probably bring out no more than 10 or 12 screws with me on any given day, but this way I can mix and match what I would like to climb with, or also depending on conditions. And then I have I just grabbed the BD screw ups, so I got 3 of those for my ice screws. My harness kit, I got my I forget what the name of this harness is, but I got 2 ice clippers in here. It does have a spot. It has spots for 4 of them, but I think 2 is kind of all I ever really use or need, so I'm just going to have 2 ice clippers. I do have this little bag right here that has a bunch of ice climbing stuff in it with a few more ice clippers, so if I break one of these or if I want to add in a few more, then I can do that. On my harness kit itself, I have a lot of my usual stuff like 2 quad slings with a carabiner, rescue cord. I'll have a hollow block, a double length sling, 4 locking carabiners. I really like these Camp Nitros, so they're really great to use with gloves on. They don't take forever to lock, and then you can kind of use them for anything. These are pretty much my favorite locker that I started using now. So I have 4 free ones, and then a 5th one on my ATC with a small D carabiner. Also, Camp Orbit, I think that's what it's called. And it also has the giant locking mechanism to make it really easy to work with gloves. BD ATC. My little emergency kit right here. You can see, oh look, I have another hollow block, so I'll probably leave this one behind. Or I only need 1 hollow block, so I'll deal with that. But also a knife, TID block, little J-snare V-threader thing, so I keep that all in one carabiner. I also have, I'm going to bring my gree for when I'm using some of the single ropes, so if I want to use that. I'll also have a rappel tether if I choose to use it on some of the longer climbs, and then that has a locker on it. Oh, and then my locking quick draw, which if you watch some of my other videos, it can be kind of like a, sometimes I choose to leave it behind, sometimes I choose to bring it, but in ice climbing it has a few more uses than in rock climbing that are actually kind of nice, especially when traveling in teams of 3, so I'm going to bring that with me and just have it if I need it. I also have a few more extra devices here. An extra ATC in case I lose the one I have. This is the ATC Alpine guide for small ropes. I am bringing my ropes I'm bringing are these 2 Sterling Nanos. That's a 60, that's a 70. They're both 9 mil. And then in that red bag right there are my twin ropes, which are 7/8 Sterling Photons. And so if I'm using the twin ropes, I would like to use the smaller ATC. I'll also have a Megajoule, just kind of as a backup device, and then my Gigajoule for if I want this for the twin ropes or anything else. I'm actually kind of interested to see how this works in the ice environment, but it could end up being my main device for sure. And yeah, just I guess an extra locking carabiner. Moving up to technical equipment. For quick draws, I got 12 sport quick draws, and maybe 12, yeah, I think it's 12 alpine draws. Again, I'll never bring out 24 draws with me on any climb, but this way I can choose whatever number of any quick draw I want. As for the cams and stuff, I just have a double rack from 0.3 to 3, and then 1 number 4 right there, and then that's it. And there are a number of climbs, especially the longer climbs, that require having a little bit of gear. So that's all I feel I need. And then I also have full rack of stoppers and a nice brand new set of, if I can get them out there, of offset nuts for what have you. So I got these things. I'm not going to bring peckers or knife blades because I kind of don't own any of those. If I need them for a specific climb, then I'll buy them while I'm there. I'm sure there'll be another number of stores in Uray that have climbing gear. My boots, I'm going to be spending nearly all my time in these G5s on maybe colder days or days where I'm not moving as much or going higher altitude. Then I'm going to bring my G2 SMs just because I don't like cold feet. And I will have a number of foot warmers with me just, again, for dealing with cold toes on those extra cold days if I want to stay in the thin boots. Underneath here, I also have a picket, which again, I'm probably not going to use, but maybe if I get shanghaied into some interesting adventures or maybe a climb at Rocky Mountain National Park, it could come in handy. I already talked about my ropes. I got my helmet, a nice big helmet to fit layers underneath. Hard climbing shoes, which I'm not going to bring with me. They just happen to be there. My guidebooks. I'm bringing the Colorado Ice book. Winter Dance and Big Sky Ice. This was a gift from me, or a gift to me by a friend of mine, so thanks Alex Leslie if you're watching this video. There's a chance I may go to Montana on my way back for maybe a couple of days, and then also I guess this gives you northern Wyoming too, so I might as well bring these books if I end up stopping there on my way back. This Colorado Ice book seems to be pretty good. I don't know if it's like the book to use for Ouray, but it gives me all the info I need, so that's really all that matters. Sunglasses. I'm bringing a light pair of sunglasses. I'll also bring my glacier glasses if I can find them. They're somewhere around here. Moving on now to clothing. That's pretty much all the technical gear I'm bringing. It's a little bit less than what I'm used to, which is really nice. Usually I bring a lot more than that, so it's nice to have less gear. But of course I'm replacing that with the amount of clothes I'm bringing. And so the reason why I'm bringing so many clothes is mainly because I'm a little worried about things getting wetted out. And living in my car, I just don't have as good of opportunity to dry stuff out as someone living in like an actual house. And so I may split a room a night or two for like an Airbnb or whatever if I can to just dry out some stuff. But that's why I'm going to have a couple extras of everything with me. Starting with gloves, I am going to bring a pair of belay gloves. I don't think I'll use them that much, but maybe on a really warm day where I still want some hand protection, or I don't have to worry about the gloves getting wet or my hands getting wet, they wouldn't be bad to have, so I'll just throw them in there. The next pair, I have these really thin Ferrari gloves for hard technical climbs. Again, basically for the same thing as those. Get into my workhorse pair. I just split the thumb open on this, but I got nice rapid tape, so they'll be good for this trip. The art gloves, and they're waterproof also. I mean, like, these ones probably aren't too waterproof. I need to replace them soon, but they'll be good for this trip. I also have a few more medium weight pairs. Transitions, I think. I forget the name of these gloves, but these are all medium weight pairs. Outdoor Design medium weight pair. I have this really thin pair of outdoor research gloves. And then I got thicker, I think these are called the Enforcers. These are more belay gloves. And then these also, when I'm not expecting to use, these are double gloves. Maybe in the car if I want to warm my hands up in the morning or in the evening, I can throw on those gloves. But yeah, just a lot of gloves. These are the things that get the most wet while you climb, even on dry days, so my main use pairs right here. That's why I have a couple of them, and then they'll have some time to dry out in between days. Socks, my main pair are these socks right here, so I have 4 pairs of those. I got an extra pair of REI socks. Really thick pair for the car and sleeping at night. I do have ski socks because I will be bringing my ski stuff with me, so I need a pair for the ski boots. And then I'm also bringing 1 or 2 pairs of just regular socks for day-to-day things, and I'm also going to bring a pair of regular pants, cotton pants to wear around town, not while I'm climbing. This is just a bunch of boxers for wearing, pretty much. I just grabbed a whole bunch of synthetic pairs, and then I'll bring like all of them, pretty much. Same thing up here. These are all synthetic t-shirts, good for climbing. So that's what they're all doing up there. I'm also going to bring this sun hoodie, which if anything will give me another synthetic layer against my body. Layers up above, here's like another thing. This could work as a base layer or a single layer on its own if I want a bit more warmth. It's actually really nice, really thin. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called like the Butterman jacket. It's made by Mountain Hardware. One thing I sweat in a lot and sort of go through a lot are these secondary sort of thin insulation layers, and I wear these all day, every day. So I got 3 of them with me. Everyone knows this one. This is the Transition, which I wear a lot. Patagonia R1. And then I also have this Deviator jacket, which is the same as the Transition, except it has this more synthetic insulation on the front, which would be really nice on cold days. Raincoats, again, because I'm worried about stuff being able to dry out, and if I happen to be there in bad weather, I brought 3. I'm going to bring 3 raincoats. This is just a North Face, and then 2 outdoor research coats. This one being the most burly, and then this one actually being the most flexible. It's a really good climbing jacket. I'll probably be wearing this most of the days, as long as the weather is good. And this guy's just kind of an extra jacket to wear on days when these two are maybe drying out. Kind of like the substitute jacket. Pants, got a little bit less lower body stuff I'm bringing. This is a pair of rain pants. Again, if the weather's looking bad, I'm hoping to just leave these in the car the entire day, or the entire time. I'm also got a pair of long johns. These are made by North Face. Just to, on the really cold days, be nice to have that underneath my soft shell pants. These are my two soft shell pants that I own that are good for ice climbing, my Mountain Hardwear classic ones, and these pants are actually made by Cool. The most important part about pants for me is the right length of the leg. I don't like having legs that are too long, especially when technically climbing, because those pants will get in the way. So, yeah, I'm just going to bring these two, and pants, you don't really need to wash them all that much, so you'll be fine. The last pair of pants I'm going to be bringing is actually a pair of puffy pants. These are made by Outdoor Research. I bought them off a friend because they don't make puffy pants like this anymore. It's synthetic insulation. The equivalent would be like those Black Diamond puffy pants or those Mountain Hardwear ones also. But these are synthetic puffy pants, mainly for sleeping in the car and hanging out in the car just to avoid being super cold. So I'm excited to use these ones, see what they feel like. Over here we're getting into the insulation, or more insulation layers. This jacket I'll probably be wearing nearly every day. It's part of my layering system. This is the Ascendant jacket, or something like that. It's the one with the fuzzy stuff on the inside. Really good for active moving insulation, and pretty flexible too. This jacket right here is something I just bought. Never used it before, just a day ago. It's the Rab Xenon, and I've heard a lot of good things about this jacket. I've been climbing and borrowed a friend's Xenon before, and it's just a really great jacket. It seems like it'd be good to put over this if need be. It also is kind of a lighter weight version of this jacket underneath the Uber layer. So I'm going to try this out during this trip and my next trip I'm taking to see how well it works, and I think it's actually a really great jacket. I haven't had a synthetic jacket like this that packs down super small but keeps you really warm, so I'm going to see what this is all about. And then my Uber layer, again, same niche as this thing, but it's okay to have a couple extra jackets. And then underneath this I have 3 puffies, and this is my biggest puffy right here, the Arc'teryx one. That's more for living in the car, waking up in those cold mornings. And then these next 2 puffies are for when I'm climbing. And again, this is like, if one gets wet, then I'll have another one to back it up. But this is the floodlight jacket, so this stuff on the outside, this is supposed to be waterproof. And I say it's supposed to be waterproof, because nothing's 100% waterproof, but this actually does a pretty good job of keeping the water out. So that's probably going to be my main puffy. And then on those dry days, I can pull this out, or when I'm waiting for this to dry out, then I can pull out this puffy just as kind of like a backup. I forgot to mention one thing, my actual ice axes I'll be using. So I don't own a pair of regular like water ice tools for like specific water ice stuff. So I use these BD Cobras, which are meant for high-end water ice climbing, and that's I know they're more of like sort of high-end alpine tools, but they'll work really great on water ice, and I've used them a lot, and I really like them. Well, that's just about everything that I'm planning to bring to Ouray. If any of you guys have any suggestions, I've never been there before, so if you climb there and you like to add something to your gear as you bring it, then I'd be happy to hear what you bring. But that's just about everything. I'm getting super psyched. I'm leaving the day after Christmas. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some good ice climbing videos. Not only of me and my friends ice climbing, but also some ice climbing tips coming up on my channel real soon. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video.